When you look at the church, obviously most churches, first thing that strikes you is actually the tower, or the spire over there. Well, in actual fact, this church used to have a tower. Whoops, a daisy. Where am I going with that today? This used to have a tower right in the centre of the church, and when we go in, I will show you the difference of the thickness of the pillars where the tower used to actually stand. As you can see that through the brickwork and stonework, that the chancel on the end here was added much later, but the church has actually stood here for well over 800 years, and I always find it fascinating, and I hope you do too, that the churches have actually stood this long. And it always intrigues me about the thousands of people, you know, that you're talking over 800 years of history here, and it still stands to this day. And this church is in fact in remarkable condition and exceptionally well cared for. And I'm very, very pleased to say that it's actually open. It's rather beautiful. The stonework is in exceptional condition, and it's obviously had quite a lot of restoration work over the years. So let's take a wander in. As I say, it's always nice to find the churches open. Just bear with me. The door itself, I can't say is anything exceptional, and must have been replaced, I'm guessing, around, in the 1800s. Having said that, the stonework is very, very striking, and I always love to see the stonework like this. As you can see, it's rather fantastic. We do have a series of angels up there, and they are holding shields, and as we walk down, I think you will actually see that some of them are holding books and also musical instruments. Now, strangely enough, they actually have music playing in this church today, which I think adds to the atmosphere rather nicely. The oldest part of the church is the font. And again, as I say, you have to think about the hundreds of thousands of children that would have been baptized in this font over the years. Quite amazing. There aren't any spectacular stained glass windows in this church, not that I've seen. But let's take a wander through. I do hope you're enjoying this music. What we do have is a rather large hatchment here, and this would have actually, normally these would stand over a doorway, although I have heard it said that they also stand over the chancel arch. Now, I can't tell you, it says God Save the King. Oh, it's obviously not King Charles, the one that we have presently. I don't know which king that actually relates to. I'll have a look, see if I can find out. But I wanted to show you these different pillars here, and if you look at those pillars there, how slim they are, and these ones are exceptionally thick, and this in this archway here going across, and you can see on the brickwork also, this is where the centre tower would have actually stood many years ago. If I come back, you can see some of the brickwork and stonework up there. These pillars actually date back to the 1300s, and I understand that the tower was taken down and then the spire rebuilt or built in the 1400s. I always believe that, or think that this stonework gives a wonderful pattern, doesn't it? Let's take a wander through. There would have been a rood screen across here, as there were in most churches, and this would have been the opening here, where one of the parishioners would have come across where the rood screen would have stood, and he would have gone up there and probably lit candles or directed some of the mass. Should I say mass? We do have some stained glass windows in here. As I say, this one dates back to 1873, I believe. And as you can see, the sun is shining through there absolutely brilliantly today. It's beautiful. We have another one over here, which dates back to 1848. I don't see a maker's name on there. Sometimes you see them just a little mark in the bottom right hand corners, but I can't see anything on here. Not too sure. What we do have is the remnants, unfortunately very little remnants. This would have been part of a doom painting, I believe. You can just see some of the red pigmentation still there on the stonework. A lot of these were covered up, as we know, during the Reformation, and many of them were lost for good. And that was Steve almost tripping over. Hey, it wouldn't be a film, would it, if I didn't trip over something. Let's take a look back down the church, and you can see this magnificent archway there, where the spire and the tower is. It truly is fantastic. I understand that the glass there was actually inscribed by a local parishioner, David Pierce, I believe. It looks fantastic. It says on there 1,000 years. So that tells you 1,000 years of prayer have taken place here on this spot. The organ was actually built in 1906 by a company called Norman and Beard. Apparently it's still in very good condition and also regularly played, which is fabulous. We do have this stained glass window here. I don't know why, it just doesn't look very vibrant. It's to the glory and memory of Henry Herbert. He was the rector of the parish from 1867 to 1911. the work within it is very, very good. Yet, I'm guessing it must have a grill on the outside, which is possibly obliterating or stopping some of the wonderful light coming through. Always a shame that they have to do that, but unfortunately, some of them have to be done in order to protect them from those horrible vandals. We do have various memorials here. Excuse me. This is to MS. Well, this Caroline Dickens, LLD. I don't know what the LLD stands for. She was 47 years old and she passed away in 1793. We have a absolute clear window here, which I looked at this and it puzzled me for a moment, but then I read the inscription underneath, and it was dedicated in memory of Hugh Cocaine. Well, what a name. Cocaine. He was the fifth priest, rector of the parish. Fifth priest. I don't know what that actually means. Or is that cocaine thrift? Maybe it was cocaine thrift. I don't know. If anybody knows the answer to that, please put something down below. But the thing was, the idea was that was put in as a clear window to bring light into the chancel here, and it does actually work. It does work really, really well. Yes, so if anybody knows, I couldn't work it out. There you go. Maybe you can work it out for me. Put a comment down below. Yes, we need to know the answer to that one. Let's take a wander down. We have another memorial here. Sacred memory of Nicola. Late of the Kingdom of Ireland and daughter of Archibald Viscount Gosford. She died in 1821 and she was aged 76. Woo. Somewhere there is a list of the rectors. I haven't seen it yet, but I always find those rather interesting. This I cannot work that one out. It dates to 1727. We look up again. There are 26 angels up there, by all accounts. Rather beautiful. The church itself isn't that large, but then on the other hand, it isn't actually small. Let's take a wander down towards the tower. I think I've just spotted the list of rectors, so let's go over and have a look at that, because I always find these very, very interesting. Aristotle, here we go, in 1200. Wow. There's the list. Coat of arms. Wow. I always like to see these because it actually really brings the history home, doesn't it? And you always find some fantastic names within there. Sometimes you actually come across a rector who has left the parish but then come back and you will see his name mentioned twice. I don't know what this LLD stands for. If anybody knows, please tell me, because I truly do not know. We have this here on the wall. Well, there's not a lot I can tell you about that, to be honest with you, only other than I believe it was done by somebody local. I will leave you to make your own minds up about that. But there we go. That's the church. Rather lovely. What I also notice up there, right, as we know, there must have been, where the tower, there must have been, I'm guessing there was a window, another window in there. The roof would have actually been lowered after the tower was probably taken down. And as the churches back in the day were actually, the roofs were highly pitched and also thatched. The reason why they were steeply pitched was because of obviously being thatched, and it was the quickest way to get rid of the rain. Now, this door will definitely be locked, but this is quite a nice window. This will be locked, we know. Yeah, so we can't get underneath the tower. But I hope you can see that spiral staircase that's in there. It's quite ornate, the spiral staircase. It's unusual to see a metal spiral staircase in a church. Anyway, I do hope you've enjoyed this brief video. Please like, subscribe. It does help the channel grow, as I always say. And it gives other people the opportunity to be able to enjoy some of these wonderful churches that I'm able and lucky to have to be able to go round and film and share with you. So please like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Take care now. Have a great day. Bye.